Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our third town hall for GMI. First of all, let me tell you that I'm here by myself today. Paul Schreiner's out sick, but that's okay. We're going to talk about hopefully some stuff that's going to help you guys learn the importance of what you got to do to make more money in this industry. So I want to start with just a really quick story. I've been working in the security industry for just about 25 years now. And when I started, I came to work and I was a nighttime supervisor for a small security company here in San Diego, and I was making about $7 an hour. That's crazy, right? But what I quickly realized was that there really was opportunity in this industry if you understood some basic concepts of what it took to make money in the industry. So what I want to do tonight is a little bit of financial education, talk to you a little bit about how the industry works and what you personally can do to drive up your value to be able to make more money as you work as a security guard or a security supervisor, or ultimately some of you will choose to become security professionals and, believe it or not, end up with this being your career. And I know a lot of you don't think about security as being a career, but it really is. What a lot of people don't know is the security industry is actually one of the fastest growing industries in the world today. If you think about it, in 1932, there were 9 police officers for every crime. Today, there are 900 crimes for every police officer. That means that organizations and people who have assets have come to recognize that they have to protect their own assets because the law, federal, state, local law enforcement may or may not be there for you when you need them. So therefore, this industry continues to grow at a pretty rapid pace. And what it's looking for, what I believe it's looking for, is people who take it seriously and can actually conduct themselves as security professionals. And the key word there is professional. A professional gets paid professional money. So really it comes down to the ability to become a professional in this industry. But before you become a professional, you actually have to understand how the industry works. So we're gonna go through a few subjects today. And Sam, if you can pull up the first slide, please. Okay. What I want to talk about today as soon as we get the slide up. Okay. What I want to talk about today is how security contracts are awarded. And that's important because if you understand that concept of how a security contract is awarded, then you can understand where the money comes from and how the money is allocated. Okay. Next is, how does a security company actually make money? GMI or any other company, how do we actually make money? And number 3, how any individual can increase their value in this industry. And when I say any, I really do mean any individual in this industry can actually become pretty valuable pretty quickly if you understand some basic concepts. Okay, so let's start by thinking about how security contracts are awarded. So Sam, if you would please, can you pull up the spreadsheet I want to show? I want to show you guys a basic concept of what happens in a security contract. Okay, so there's a company out there. It could be a high-end HOA. It could be a retail center. It could be a corporate facility. It could be a lot of different types of companies. And for whatever reason, they decide that they need security. Sometimes it's an event. Sometimes a bunch of cars get stolen. Sometimes the president's car gets stolen. Sometimes there's a HR issue, or a lot of times they've got a security company and they don't like that security company. So what they want to do is they want to change that security company. But once they make that decision, what they're going to do is they're going to send out what's called an RFP, a request for proposal. And they usually send it out to multiple companies. We pretty much get an opportunity to bid on pretty much anything that comes our way or that goes out. Whether you know it or not, we're now the largest regional provider of security in Southern California. And our only real competition is the national providers. who will go nameless for this conversation. Okay, so we're probably going to get an opportunity to bid. That doesn't mean we're going to bid on everything, but it means we'll get an opportunity. We'll probably get invited to the table. Okay, once they send that out, then the security companies put together their proposal and submit it to the customer. The customer lays them out side by side and makes a decision. And it goes just like I have it laid out here for you. If you can see the slide, the customer had 168 hours a week in coverage, which is basically one guy around the clock. Okay, how did they come up with those hours? Who knows? A lot of times I'll talk to customers and say, well, where did you come up with the hours? And they'll say, I don't know, that's just the way it always was. Okay, so sometimes the hours don't even make sense, but in the bid process, you don't really get a chance to talk about that very much. So they're going to tell you how many hours they want. And then the companies will put together what's called an hourly bill rate. In this particular case, you see that one company went with $20 an hour, one company went with 21, and one company went with 21.20. That creates a weekly bill, and then if you multiply that times 52 weeks, that creates your annual price. If I'm a customer and I'm going through this process, think about it. Which one am I going to choose? Because I'm only looking at price. So I'm going to choose the one at $20 an hour, because that's going to save me $11,000 over company C. But there's a problem with that process. That process in itself is flawed. Now, this has nothing to do with the way the other companies do it. This is just the way it's always been in our industry. It was created in 1852 by Alan Pinkerton, and no one's changed that model. But that model is a problem, guys. The reason that model is a problem is notice in this particular scenario, there's no mention of wage. Okay. So the second problem with that is, because there's no mention of wage, it now becomes to the benefit of the security company to pay the security officer as little as possible. Because that's going to mean whatever, the less I pay the security officer, the more is going to be left over for the company. So that model in itself creates competition between the security officers and the company. They're both fighting, if you will, over the same guy. Okay? So that, and a lot of you guys have worked in this industry for a long time, and you know that to be the case. Okay? And it just really works against making our industry better. So this model, I don't like it, and we don't use it. Okay? It's really important to understand that. Okay? Because what it does is it creates a situation where service is treated like a commodity. And for those of you who don't know what a commodity is something that I sell and trade that really is the same no matter what. Corn, oil. Okay? Well, your services are traded like corn or oil, and they don't really account for quality of service. So that whole model, I believe the model itself is what holds the industry back and what keeps the industry from being able to grow. So what we try to do here at GMI is completely different. And we're trying to revolutionize the industry by using a different business model. But in order for this business model to work, you, the individual security officer, need to understand it. And that's one thing I want to try to accomplish today. So if we go to the GMI model, if you would, please, sheet 2. Okay. The first thing we have to do is we have to identify, is this even a customer that we want to do business with? Are they looking for a systemized scientific approach to solving their security issues? Or are they just looking for somebody to blame? Okay. Do they appreciate the fact that we're going to try to be high touch? Meaning we're going to spend a lot of time on your property, understanding exactly what's going on in your property. Okay, are they aligned with our philosophy and core values? Our philosophy of putting people first and making sure we're taking care of our customers or employees as our top priority. Okay, do they see their relationship with their vendor as a partnership, okay? Are they going to make a decision based solely on price, or are they willing to look at value? And are they tired of doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results? So that's the first part of what we look at. And I'll tell you, in the investigation phase, we disqualify a lot of potential customers. We decide that we're not going to participate in the bid, okay? Because if they don't match that particular set of questions, they're probably not going to be a good fit as a GMI customer, okay? Then if they do pass through that, we go through a presentation. And in the presentation, what we try to do is explain to them the difference in our capabilities and the differences between GMI and other security companies, okay? And what we need that difference to be is you. We need you to be better than the average security officer, okay? And we spend a lot of time educating the customer in this beginning process about the value and the importance of wage. Our conversation with every customer that we ever talk to about doing business always starts with wage. What wage are you going to be able to pay to bring in a quality security officer? Now, that's a difficult conversation because their budgets are their budgets. So what we do is we try to work within their budgets, but drive the wage up. So I'll show you our example of our proposal, what it looks like compared to other companies. We start out with a wage, okay? Again, we're trying to get that wage as high as possible every time we have that conversation. Then we add what's called a markup. The markup is a percentage of money on top of the wage that's going to produce the bill rate. Once we have that bill rate, we simply follow the standard formula, which comes out to a weekly and an annual price. But we always start with the conversation of wage, okay? So the benefits of this system are really twofold. One is if you watch this formula, and I'll show you here in a second, if you watch this formula, we don't really make any extra money unless we can get your wage up, okay? Rather than trying to drive your wage down, whether you believe it or not, we're actually trying to drive your wage up. And I'll show you how that works here in a second. The second thing is now wage becomes a central part of the conversation with that customer. And you would be shocked at how many potential customers I go to see, and they have no idea what their security officers are being paid, because no one talks about the wage in the other formula. But let me show you how the system works just a little bit. So I'm going to have Sam manipulate these numbers a little bit for us. So Sam, take that 14 and change it to 15. Okay, if you'll notice, when he changes that number, our price actually goes up and we can make more money now. So the only way we can make more money is to get you more wage. Okay, and that's the importance of today's conversation, the ability to get you paid more. Look, I know you want to get paid more money, but you know who might want you to get paid more money than even you do? Is me. Because the more money I can get you guys paid, the more money this company has the ability to make. Okay? So how do we do that? That really becomes a central question. But before we talk about how we do that, I'm going to share with you now an actual financial report from GMI that shows exactly where the money goes. Because a lot of people are under the assumption that, well, somebody's getting rich here and I'm working real hard and a bunch of people are getting rich, and that's not how it works at all. Okay? So this is, what you see here is the actual January financial report for the Orange County, Los Angeles, and in the Inland Empire branch. Okay? So I'm just going to go through a couple of important numbers on here. The first is, you'll see that this branch in the month of January made $977,000. Wow. man, somebody's got to be getting rich, right? Okay. But watch what happens to that money and how quickly it disappears. Okay. So if you scroll down, 81.39% of that money goes directly to pay you. Okay. 81.39% of that money goes directly to pay you. And I guarantee that percentage is higher at GMI than it is at any other security company you're going to go and work for. Okay. So now we don't even have 19 cents left. Almost 82 cents went to pay you. So now we've got about 18.5 cents left. Okay. So what happens to that 18.5 cents? Okay. Well, almost 3% went to pay for patrol vehicles and auto repair and all the different vehicles that we use, the golf carts and all that crazy stuff that we have to put out on post. Another 2% went to uniforms, cell phones, equipment, supplies, all of that stuff. So after all that's done, we only have 13.6 cents left. Of the original dollar, we only have 13.6 cents left. Now that 13.6 cents, about 6.5 cents of that goes to pay for managers, staff, payroll people, human resources people, the schedulers, the dispatchers, the IT people. All that money goes to pay for them. And then after that, we have the cost of doing business, recruiting costs, legal expenses, education and training, telephones, utilities, dues and subscriptions. That's 4.1 cents left. Okay. So if you scroll down to the bottom, guys, remember that 977, what a big number that was? Okay. When all is said and done, we got about 2 cents left of the original dollar. About 2 cents left. In this case, we got $21,000 left of that 977. Okay. So you can see nobody's really getting rich on this. Okay. What we're really trying to do is build a sustainable company and produce the highest level guards, because our goal is to make that 977 get bigger. If the 977 gets bigger, then there'll be more money for everybody. Okay. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that 81% of 2 million is more than 81% of 1 million. Okay. So that would be, there's more money for wage and salaries. So that's what we try to do here, is try to get everybody to work towards that goal. And that's the importance of what we're going to talk about next. Well, how do you do that? How do you actually create value for yourself? Okay. And over the years, I've talked to thousands, literally thousands of customers, and they all say the same thing. What they want from their security officer is very simple. And we've drilled that down and we've turned that into what we call the 6 core values. And I want to talk about those 6 core values and how they will help you get paid more. So Sam, if you would, could you pull that up? Okay. What the first thing they want is they want you to look and act like a professional. Okay. That means your uniform is squared away. You're not smoking in their parking lot. You're not screaming at anybody. You're not talking on the cell phones. You're looking and acting like a professional. Think about it. You're representing them on that property. And the better you look, the better the more value you're gonna create. That's no different than if you were a salesperson, or if you were the receptionist, or you were the president of the company. You have to put pride into presenting yourself like a professional. That's one of the first things I noticed about this industry, and why I knew I was going to be successful in it, right? Is most people don't spend a lot of time thinking about how they're presenting, okay? And how you present is absolutely critical, okay? Take that part of it important. You know, they used to have a commercial, Andrew Agassi used to have a commercial. In that commercial, he said, image is everything. I don't believe image is everything, but I do believe image is important, okay? And the ability to look and conduct yourself like a professional automatically adds value to you. That means you're not sitting in the car, okay? That means you're not getting dressed in their parking lot. That means that you're looking up, you're paying attention to people, you're making eye contact. All of the things that you would think a professional ought to be doing, that's absolutely critical. Number two, the ability to effectively communicate. You have to be able to communicate orally, you have to be able to communicate telephonically, and you have to be able to communicate electronically on your reports, okay? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get more people to attend these town halls. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start giving away money, okay? So I don't know how many people are on right now, but I'm going to ask a question. And the first person who answers the question correctly is going to win $100. Okay? So Sam, if you would, if you can make sure you have it up so you can see who's the first person to answer the question correctly. Okay? Okay. We're just talking about the importance of your reports. If you can tell me the GMI definition of an incident report, the first person who can type that in and tell me the answer to that question will win $100. Okay? So Sam's going to monitor that, and the first person who answers that will get $100. Okay? Okay, so the ability to effectively communicate orally, on the phone, on the electronics, et cetera, et cetera. Somebody got a part of it right. So that's important. Number three is technical skills. It's amazing to me how many people work in the security industry who don't know anything about security. Okay, we offer courses every month on for different types of classes on security, and we don't get a lot of people to attend them. Honestly, I wish more people attended them. But you have to know you have to master and know your skill set. Okay, I'll give you an example. We had a retail center recently where someone broke into one of the stores. And the question became, how did they break into the store? Well, what was identified is they got on the roof and then they came in through the roof. Well, that's pretty simple. Once we know that they came in through the roof, all we have to do is figure out how to deny them access to the roof. Okay? Everything that the security does is supposed to deny, delay, deter, and detect. But so many people don't. They might get it. Nope. Come on, somebody's got to get an answer to this question right. So I give away this $100. Okay. What is the definition of an incident? If you were in orientation, I guarantee you were told the answer. Okay. So I want to give this $100 away. Matter of fact, I'll make it $150. Okay. So because I want somebody to answer this question. Okay. All right. So the ability to actually know and understand security. Okay. It's absolutely critical. People don't understand the importance of security policies and procedures. You should know all your policies and procedures, and you should follow them to the letter. Okay? And if they're not right, you should report that they're not right. People don't understand the importance of lighting, fences, doors, walls, keys. Okay? The use of technology, whether it's RFID chips or CCTV cameras or access control systems or sensors and alarms, the ability to use those technologies to create what's called force multiplication and create a stronger security program. Okay, and then the ability to, and then you know that the security officer is the only part of a security program that actually can do all 4 of the D's: deny, delay, deter, and detect. And that's why you exist. A camera can't deny. A camera can only detect and deter. A fence could potentially deny, could potentially delay, but it's not going to detect anything. Okay? So, and a security officer is the only one who can actually do all 4. But if you're not denying, delaying, deterring, and detecting when you're out there, what are you doing? Okay? You're just wandering around. Okay? So understanding and actually being good at security is important. Okay? The next part of this thing is the ability to make good decisions. Every day, the customer gives you access to all of their assets. Could be $50 million worth of assets, could be $100 million worth of assets. They give you access to those assets and ask you to protect them and keep them safe. They have to have confidence in you to make good decisions. Okay? The easiest way to measure a person's decision-making ability is to look at their attendance. How much work does a person miss? Because if he's not there, if he's missing work all the time, then I can't count on him. And if I can't count on him, he's not valuable to me. Okay?
Joshua got it.
Huh?
Joshua.
Joshua got it?
Mm-hmm.
Joshua Cole. Congratulations, Joshua Cole. $150. Way to go, bro. Okay, you're gonna get. I want you to. I'm gonna have Paul Schreiner reach out to you tomorrow and get you your money. Okay. So congratulations, Joshua. And the rest of you, tell your friends and come to the next one, because I'm gonna do this every month. I'm gonna keep giving money away to try to get more people in these classes and to try to use it as a motivator to educate people on what we're trying to do. Okay? So making good decisions. Next, customer service skills. You gotta have great customer service skills, guys. You're dealing with people. People, especially today, people are on edge, man. They're on edge. Okay? There were 2 security officers in Michigan that were killed for telling somebody to put on a face mask. Okay? So the ability to have great customer service skills is critical. Okay? We're not cops. We don't boss people around. We don't cuss at people. We don't yell at people. Okay? We are ambassadors to the property, and we're trying to protect that customer's assets. We need to have great customer service skills. Okay? That's what your client wants, is great customer service skills. And last but not least, creating a safe environment for everybody there, including yourself. How you handle transients, how you can deal with you don't walk past a slip and fall danger. You actually identify that danger and you cone it off so nobody gets hurt, and you report it so it gets fixed. All of that. Guys, I'm telling you, if you actually practice these 6 things, okay, present a professional image, communicate effectively, okay, learn your technical skills, understand what security is, okay, make great decisions, have great customer service skills, and create a safe environment, you will be valuable. Okay? You will be valuable. And if you're valuable, then you're valuable to that client. If we go back and we look at the formula, if you're valuable to that client and I walk into that client and says, hey, John's a great security officer and he needs to get paid more money. First of all, that customer is probably going to say yes because you're valuable. Okay. And if they say yes, you're going to get paid more and the company is going to make more based off of our formula that's unique to us. Okay. Every once in a while, and it happens, there's customers who say, I got it. He's a great guy, but our budgets don't allow for us to pay more. If that happens, you need to be prepared and comfortable with moving to a different site. Because while there are some customers who don't care and are going to break their budget to keep a great security officer, there are some customers who can't or won't do that. And if they can't or won't do that, then I have to move you somewhere else to a customer who will. Paul Montenegro and Linda Keefe are recent examples. Paul and Linda have been with us for many years and they've come up through the ranks. And they were stuck. They were stuck at a level. And they were great officers. And we went to those customers and we said, hey, these guys are great officers. They've been with you a long time. They're not making enough money. And the customer said, unfortunately, our budgets will not allow for us to pay the security officers anymore. And we said back, we understand, and we'll find some great new officers for you. However, these two officers are going to have to be transferred to another account where they're going to be able to earn more money. And they both were transferred and they both got multiple dollar increases. Okay. I want to say one of them was $3 an hour, one of them was $4 an hour, something like that. And they were just good officers who did these things and did them went out and did them every day. But I've also had many customers say, absolutely. You know, we had a guy who was going to leave us. He said, I'm going to leave because someone's offered me $1 more an hour to leave. We went to see his customer and said, hey, we're going to lose Johnny because he's getting paid $1 more an hour. And the customer said, I'm not losing Johnny. Johnny's the best. Tell Johnny to stay here. I'll give him $2. That happened just a couple months ago. It happens all the time. But it never happens unless you do these 6 things. It doesn't matter what I say. What matters is what you do. And I can promise you, I've never seen a customer yet who does not respect an officer, who presents a professional image, who communicates effectively, who understands security and puts into practice the science of security at his property, who makes great decisions, who is a great customer service rep, and who creates a safe environment for everybody to work in. And really, guys, I'm telling you, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And if you do those, and think about it this way, if you did those things, you did those 6 things, and the customer didn't recognize it, okay? And GMI didn't recognize it. You're so good, you can go somewhere else and get a great job, okay? Because somebody's going to recognize that. Somebody's going to recognize what you are, okay? And you're going to get paid more. I used to teach orientation every week many years ago, and when we weren't as big as we are now, and I used to teach the actual orientation to the new officers. And what I used to say is, these are not GMI's core values. These are the core values to success, okay? And it really doesn't matter where you end up and where you end up as a career path. If you learn to practice these 6 things now, you're going to be better at whatever it is you do. Okay? My goal every year is to get as many of you as promoted as possible. And that's not because I'm a wonderful guy, though I am. Okay? It's because the more money you make, the better GMI does. And we're the only security company that uses this formula. Okay, because what I want to create is where you and I are working together for the same thing. Okay, and if you just follow these things, write great incident reports, look sharp in your uniform, create a safe environment. I've said it over and over again. Okay, do those things for us, guys. If you do those things, everything's going to be good. Okay. Okay. What I want to do now is take a few minutes to answer questions. We'll call that. It's called every 2 seconds. Yeah. Okay.
The office door itself. Your office.
It's open. So, other questions? Other questions?
I answered it for specific to patrol.
Okay. Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions? Okay, so guys, we're gonna do a different subject every month. And I'm gonna start giving away more and more money on these things because I want more and more people attending these. Okay, so tell your friends, tell your coworkers, and congratulations to who?
Joshua Cole.
To Joshua Cole. Congratulations to Joshua. Good job. I'll make sure Paul gets you that money tomorrow. Okay?
They want to know what's the definition.
Oh. So Joshua's answer, good. Thank you for the question. The definition of an incident is any event that results in injury to person, damage or theft of property, or the disruption of the normal flow of business. Those are the different types of incidents. Okay? Damage or theft of property, injury to person, or the disruption of the normal flow of business. Okay? How many people are on the call?
17.
Okay. All right, for you 17 who showed up, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll do this again next month, and I'm trying to get those numbers up. I want more people in. So like I said, I'm gonna start giving away more money and more prizes to get more people on the call, because I think it's important. The more you guys who can go out and practice what we just talked about, the more you guys are gonna make more money. But you gotta practice it. You actually have to do it. It doesn't do any good to talk about it. Okay? You actually have to do it. Okay? And if you learn to do those things, guys, I promise you, you're going to be successful, whether it's with GMI or anywhere else. Okay? All right, you guys be careful, be safe. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families. Wear your PPE. I don't want to see you wandering around with no mask on. Wear your PPE and be safe. All right? You guys are the best. You're the best. Love all of you. See you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.